on this week's Talking with Topher. So for some people like myself, in the beginning, it was very difficult holiday season. It's my birthday, I'll get high if I want to, high if I want to, high if I want to. You would get high too if it happened to you. I don't even know if I'm gonna put that in. And now let's get into episode 192. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this December 7th, 2023. And boy, oh boy, has this year escaped me. But before I get into anything today, let me start off the way I always do by saying thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers and thank you to all the new subscribers. I'm so glad you're enjoying all of the episodes coming out and the guest episodes. Make sure you always go and follow, like, and subscribe to their channels or social medias as well. Links are always in the description below, but I do appreciate everybody subscribing to the channel for the support. I really do. Are you just stopping by, checking out the channel, or maybe somebody sent you the Linktree link? Well, remember to hit that subscribe button, all right? It's the one thing I'm asking everybody to do. It's free for you, so why not do it? It helps support the channel, and it keeps me coming back week after week. So remember, you're just checking it out, subscribe, hit that button, and of course, give a thumbs up, and always make friends in the comments. If you want your opportunity to tell your story, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. It's the official email of the podcast. Remember, send a video, audio, or type it out, but send it over to the official email of the podcast, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And don't forget about the Linktree. That's right, the Linktree link right here. You go into the description below the video, and you have access to everything TwT. It's just that easy, and it's also that easy to share the podcast. So go ahead, copy that link, and share it amongst everybody you know. Help me make the podcast bigger. I greatly appreciate it. And what's happening, everybody? It's time to get into the episode, and I have just, well, let me just say, it's my birthday. I'll get high if I want to. So yeah, I know it's December for everybody here on the podcast, but it's November 25th. So I am pre-recording. Once again, I kind of fell behind. The job took over, and let's just say I got the day off, and I'm enjoying it. What I got going on right now is it's 7 years, 2.5 months in on the sobriety from alcohol, 7 months, no vaping, and I think I talk about this every holiday season, but it is true. It is true. The holiday seasons make everything a little bit more difficult. So everything is everywhere. There's advertisement, everybody's trying to sell fucking everything off their shelves. Sale. I know they can't advertise alcohol, but it's literally everywhere you go. Every grocery store, everywhere you go. There's always, you can go to the jewelry store and they probably have like a bottle of Crown Royal next to like some diamonds or something. Like, it's just everywhere. So for some people like myself, in the beginning, it was very difficult holiday season. And all I can tell you is, as long as you just focus on today, that is going to make everything easier in the long run. You're not going to have such an issue with worrying about the entire holiday month or the 2 months, realistically, with Thanksgiving just passing. But that makes it tougher. When you try to say it's going to, just focus on the day. Just focus on the day, and it's going to be that much easier, I promise you. That's what I do. It works great for me, because when I start trying to plan too far ahead, that's when something could not work out or could fall through or something happens and it doesn't go the way you planned it. But if you just work on the day that you're in, I find you have better success of planning out that day and maybe having a hiccup or two. But overall, those small hiccups are not as bad as like planning something out for a month and then having something just crash the whole system. It is one of the most devastating feelings I think anybody with OCD could deal with. When you are in the middle of planning for something and you're putting it together in your mind, and then all of a sudden you get sideswiped by something that wasn't even anticipated, and it's like your brain breaks and you don't know what to do. You physically have no idea what you're going to do. You're just broken. Does anybody else ever feel this way? Because I can't tell if it's my anal retentive or my OCD. I don't know which one it is, but I know it's tied into either both of them or one of them, one of the two that I mentioned. But that's it. I shut down and I get emotional, and then I react off of my emotion, and then I'm now thinking with the body and reacting as a child. So it's a very difficult situation to be in when these things happen. And my sobriety and staying away from vaping and cigarettes and stuff like that. I mean, cigarettes not that difficult today. It's been a decade, but vaping is, it's only 7 months separated, so it still gets a little difficult for me from time to time. And now they're coming out with all these vapes that are zero nicotine, and they're this and they're that, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't want to vape. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying to stay away from it 100%. No cartridges. I went to a dispensary this morning, and I was like, holy crap, look at these vapes and stuff. And I'm like, no vaping. There's something about it that I just now feel uncomfortable with. And I don't know if it's because I feel like it could bring me back into wanting a device and juice again, because it was part of me. And for some reason my brain's looking for a loophole to like attach back onto it. And I'm just like, no, I don't want this. So it is difficult, but I'm just worrying about it today. I dealt with it in the dispensary this morning, and I bought what I wanted and I left. So, and I didn't get one. And that was a small battle won. And I believe if you treat your sobriety or your addictions this way, it does make it a little bit easier to deal with, instead of trying to come up with this big giant plan to make sure, you still deal with your addiction, but in a sense, the plan's too big, and reality has this weird way of, bringing us back to earth in a sense. So, but feeling good, feeling great. I'm really enjoying this turning 44 thing. My body aches, my knees pop and crack. I think that's what the biggest problem is. People don't keep moving. They don't keep doing something. When we get older, we start to say that like our knees bothering us, and oh man, I can't do this because of my lower back, and I can't. And then you don't, and then all of a sudden, things really get bad. And you're like, but I stayed off of it, and I didn't do anything with it, so I don't understand why it got worse. Well, did you get heavier? Because that's going to be a factor, right? Because if you're not doing anything, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not exercising, then your only possibility is to gain weight. No matter what you eat, you could eat super healthy, but if you're not moving and you're just sitting on the couch doing nothing, it's not going to help, right? Yeah, you're putting good nutrients into your body, but you're really not helping yourself. It's still just going to retain and sit, and not going to be good. So you're going to wind up gaining weight, which is going to make everything worse. You get older, everything gets worse. I think when you get older, your joints really do like dry out. You know, I picture all my ligaments like rags and like they're slowly drying, you know, but I do a lot of stuff. I don't do as much as I should. I definitely don't do it as often as I should. And right now with the job requiring almost all of my time, I have barely any time to get on the mats, and it's very, very sad for me. But I'm working that out. But what I'm getting at is that, you know, I'm squatting, I'm moving, I'm lifting, I'm doing all these motion things when I'm doing them. Like kettlebells are full body motion. You really want to get a good workout and get a 35-pound kettlebell. If you need to, start off with a 10. But get a 35-pound kettlebell, pick that sucker up, and do some of the moves. Don't do the swinging actions and anything else that, like, all this fancy shit you see on Instagram. Don't do that. Go and find, like, a 20-minute workout with kettlebells and just put in the motion. Get used to using it. Then if you want to, start doing all the swinging and stuff like that, but get comfortable with the tool first. It is a tool and you need to use it properly or you can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself doing anything today. Literally anything. I could get up and trip over a wire and fall flat on my face and I could injure myself after I record this podcast. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen at any time. So just be careful. That's the one thing I always worry about when I'm working out, because I'm always working out by myself at my house. And you know where most injuries happen? At the home. So I'm like, shit, not only could I hurt myself because I'm using gym equipment, you know, but this is kind of like getting up on a ladder and doing something on your roof, you know? If something goes really bad, it's going to go really bad with a set of weights. You know, if I fall off my roof, it's going to go really bad when I hit the ground. So it's almost the same. But all the accidents that we get into, even car accidents, are close to home. Most of them occur close to home. Most of the accidents that occur happen in the home. So it's really something that I am conscious of, and I pay attention to, because that's the last thing I need is to get hurt. But when I was 30, I had major back problems. Major. It was hurting me all the time. My hip was slipping out of place. I had to go to the chiropractor to have it popped back in. I went and had, I don't know if it was x-rays or an MRI or whatever the scan was, but they could actually look at each individual disc in between my spine. And when they did this, we were getting close to the tailbone, and the 3 discs at the very bottom vertebrae were like changing color. The one on the very bottom, in between the tailbone, and the one next up, I don't know what vertebrae these are, but that one was black. And then the next one up was gray, and then the next one up was a little bit lighter of a gray. So it was like a light gray, dark gray, black. And I was told by the time I'm 35, I will be in a wheelchair. And I'm like, what do you mean I'll be in a wheelchair? I can't be in a wheelchair. I'm 30 years old. You're saying by the time I'm 35, I'm going to be in a wheelchair? I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going to be in a wheelchair. You need to tell me what I need to do in order to avoid this entire situation. And you know what was the number one recommended thing that I do? Lower back exercises. What was the first thing I did? I went out and I went online and I looked at a bunch of in-home gym equipment that would help me with my lower back. What can I do for lower exercises to help my lower back gain strength? And then I found, and I don't recommend buying one of these because it did turn into a coat hanger, but I bought a Bowflex. Now at the time, I was very adamant on making sure that my back did not fail, and I did not want to wind up in a wheelchair. There was no fucking way I was going to wind up in a wheelchair. No way. So I go and I get this Bowflex. I put it all together, and I used it religiously every day of the week. I had multiple different exercises, and I would do them, on opposite days and change it all up so that the body recognized it. And what I did is I built the muscle around my spine area that was having the problem and had the depleting discs. So I built up that muscle all around that spine. And all of a sudden, all of my pain went away. My bending, literally it hurt to tie my shoes. So when I hear people tell me that they have these problems, and when you recommend exercise and movement and doing some not strenuous and not tough exercises, it's crazy to me that people would actually say, well, I can't do that because it's supposed to be low impact on my knees, or I was told I can't do those types of exercises because it would really, well, you got to be able to do something. I don't believe that any injury or any ailment of pain that we are going through. Now, of course, there's different ailments of pain. I am simply talking about, the soreness of back pain because we're always standing. You can decompress. I'm talking about things that happen because of what we do on a daily basis. I'm not talking about if you were severely injured in a car crash or you had a massive surgery and your body's been cut into and it's been changed. That's completely different. I don't know if there's any exercise that could help you, right? Because that's totally different, right? When I had my deviated septum fixed, they actually cut something that causes me to have a runny nose almost consistently now. That's a part of surgery. There's nothing that can be done for me. I think they have to cauterize it. I'm not sure. I have to look into it more. But those are completely different from what I'm talking about. The things I'm talking about are things that happen to us because we don't treat ourselves well and we're not moving and we're not doing anything. You recommend movement and all of a sudden people are like, no. I can't do that. And I'm telling you right now, everybody out there, you need to move. You need to do something. You need to squat. You need to walk. You need to lift heavy things. All of these movements actually help keep us younger. It won't make us younger, but it'll make us feel a little bit younger. Because I don't feel 44 today. There's certain times I do feel my age. I'm not going to lie to you. But for the most part, I'm feeling better today than I ever have in my life. And it's all because of exercise, movement, and being aware of what I am putting in my body on a daily basis. And how long I'm sitting and how long I'm doing this. It all adds up. And I'm telling you, if you can get a Dex 2, I don't know, I think they were like $4.99. That machine is the best thing I've ever purchased in my life. It is absolutely amazing. You hang on it, and it is way better for you in general on your knees and your ankles than an inversion table. An inversion table doesn't reach your entire spine like they want you to believe it does. It actually attacks your ankles, then your knees, and then the lower half of your spine. It's not really getting in the middle of the spine or up at the neck area where you really do need a lot of the decompression. Sure, there's a ton in the lower. But the Dex 2 is so phenomenal because you hang over it on your hips. So you're not stressing out your legs, your knees, or your ankles at all. And it literally lets everything stretch out from the tailbone all the way into the neck. Absolutely amazing. I've never felt so good. purchasing that thing a year ago. I have to say, out of everything that I do on a regular basis. But you can do something about it, but you just have to want to do it. You have to want to do it. And I want to recommend everybody get up, move around, and do something. Even if you have to do low impact, start there. Because once you start, it's only going to get better. Yeah, sure. It might hurt for a little bit. It might feel like death. Who knows? Depending on your pain. But eventually, by moving and building muscle, it's going to start to feel better. When you have a knee that's no good, and you have ligaments and muscles that are no good, well, then you're in a very, very dangerous zone. But if your knees are not doing good, and you build the muscle and the ligaments around them, they're going to be better off than without any support at all. So I really do hope that makes some sense to everybody out there. I really just, I want people to, not live forever, but I want you to at least be able to feel good while you're here, With that all being said, let's take a quick break so you can hear from my sponsor. Attention holiday shoppers, are you looking for the perfect gifts for your loved ones this Christmas? Look no further than slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. With our incredible selection of trendy and unique clothing and accessories, we've got something for everyone on your list. And here's the best part. You can save an extra 10% off your entire purchase by using the promo code TOPHER before you check out. Why not spread the holiday cheer while saving money? At slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, we offer a wide range of items, including shirts, shorts, swim shorts, beach towels, women's leggings, kids' tees, hats, socks, pins. There is even a full kit with a shirt, a hat, a pin, and socks, which is just incredible. There's even skateboards and winter jackets. Each product is beautifully designed with tattooed, inspired, and new school art, making them absolutely amazing pieces that stand out from the crowd. The quality of our products is second to none. Our hats feature heavy embroidering and a print underneath the bill. Plus, our selection is constantly changing with every season, so there's always something new and exciting to discover. Don't miss out on the perfect opportunity to give unique, high-quality gifts this holiday season. Visit slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com and remember to use promo code TOPHER at checkout for an extra 10% off your entire purchase. Happy shopping and have a wonderful holiday season. Oh yeah, and I'm back, everybody. It is time for Topher's Topics. I got a couple good ones. I'm gonna kind of run through these couple articles that I was checking out because I love picking on Amazon right now. I'm telling you, everybody's job's at risk. Amazon's Astro robot is now rovering security guard for business. So I don't. Oh, here's a couple key points. Amazon wants businesses to use its Astro robot as a rovering security guard in their stores to detect break-ins and other threats. The service, called Astro for Businesses, is launching only in the U.S. and comes to a steep price point of $2,349.99. Amazon's Astro household robot has remained exclusive since it launched in September 2021, available in limited quantities and on an invite-only basis. Astro for Businesses is aimed at retailers, manufacturers, and other industries as security guard that can patrol for break-ins and other threats. Really? In a first home robot in September 2021, the squat three-wheeled device can roll around the house to answer Alexa voice commands, and it has a 42-inch periscope camera that allows it to see over countertops or over obstacles to check if a stove has been left on, among other tasks. 2 years on from its debut, the original Astro, which cost $15.99, is available in limited quantities and on an invite-only basis. Wow. So this stupid little thing can roam around your... So is it capable of calling 911? Is it going to pull out a gun and shoot someone? What is this thing going to do? What's this cute little robot? How is this thing going to say, but I guess if it's for businesses, they're closed, there's nobody there, so it's just roaming around. Now, what if that little screen, right, because it has a camera, it's an Amazon product. So now you're allowing this little security camera into your business, and now they go, what? Boop. And now they're looking through the eye of that robot at Amazon base station, let's just say. Was it South Park? I think it was South Park, where they did the Amazon thing, and then it grew, and it wanted everybody to be inside of it. So it grew bigger than the universe and just put everybody inside of it. So Amazon was bigger than the universe. But I don't think it was called Amazon. It might have been. I don't remember. But doesn't that give them full access to everything inside of that building while that thing's on and roaming around? I mean, what can they do with that? If this thing can see up over a countertop, that means it can see onto a desk. What if you leave highly classified documents out? Right? So they can use it to almost spy on every single business that puts this in their store. I don't even have... No, I'm lying. I have one of those stupid Alexa things, but I have the microphone and the camera shut off. And the camera is off. It has a slide that goes over it. Microphone might be lying to me. Could just be a red light on it. But I believe it can't hear me because I do say it and just check to see if it can hear me. And it doesn't do anything. So either it's really smart or it's working. Well, what about this? What do you think about it? Would you use it in your business? I don't know. I really don't. All right, next one here. So, patients are lining up for $2,500 full body MRI scans that can detect cancer early. Wow. I'll try to make this a little bit quicker. Thousands of people have paid $2,500 for full body MRI scans for Prenuvo, whose technology can detect more than 500 conditions. The scans take about an hour and are reviewed by one of Prenuvo's licensed radiologists. When you are catching stage 1 cancer, what you're doing will save lives, said Prenuvo CEO Andrew Lacey. I think it's Prenuvo. Oh, and there goes my tendonitis. Anybody else hear that ringing? No. Let's see. While celebrating the July 4th holiday last year on a boat in Tyler, Texas, Dr. Juan Santa Rosa received the results from her full body MRI scan. What she saw put a damper on the festivities. So this thing can really see. I was like, unless I swallowed a taco chip, that something should not be there, she told CNBC in an interview. Radiologists at Prenuvo, which performed the scan, had identified a nodule in her lungs. Santa Rosa, who works as a spinal access surgeon in Dallas, could see the spot circled as she looked at the images from the patient portal on her phone. Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Curious and concerned patients like Santa Rosa are flooding Prenuvo's 9 clinics in the U.S. and Canada. There's so much demand that a 5-year-old Silicon Valley-based company has announced. 11 more. Wow. Wow. So that's really cool. This must be that's the CEO, Andrew Lacey. So, I mean, along with everything going on today, it's crazy that we have all of this wonderful, wonderful technology to go along with so much devastation around us. But let's talk about the devastation. Let's talk about what's going on everywhere. Let's see what this is. I've been getting all kinds of shit sent to my phone, and some of this shit is wild.
The final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction. Most, if not all, that has transcended in the last 60 years was designed to get us closer to accepting such a dystopian reality. Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish. And the direction is a post-human world. For this, they first needed to destabilize, dehumanize, and demoralize humanity through every means possible. The destruction of the nuclear family, children being indoctrinated by the state, abortion, the eradication of God and spirituality from education.
Woo! All right. Yes, eradication.
Life in mega cities and away from nature, toxic food, air, and water, social media, replacing real human connection and interaction.
It is.
Engineered financial crisis and taxation.
You tell them.
Endless wars and massive migration, stress, anxiety, depression.
Tell me more.
Alcohol, constant fear-mongering. Moral relativism as the new religion.
Sound familiar?
Go on and on
Yep.
about how humanity has been influenced and forced to move away from all the things that give us strength, security, purpose, and meaning.
Yep. 100%.
Weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population is an easy target for the next stage.
You will have nothing and you will be happy.
Of androgynous beings.
Yes.
Masculinity is under attack psychologically, culturally, and biologically. Women are being replaced in sports, entertainment, and politics by men pretending to be women. And children are being indoctrinated at school to think that gender is a choice.
Yeah, they are.
The transgender
Awful.
movement is not a grassroots movement. It comes from the top. It has nothing to do with people's freedom of expression, sexuality, or civil rights. It's an evil psyop with a clear agenda to get us closer to transhumanism by making us question the most fundamental notion of human identity, our gender. If you don't know who you are, if you already identify as a hybrid between a man and a woman, you will be easily convinced to become a hybrid between human and machine. Gender ideology is the 2 + 2 = 5 from George Orwell's 1984 dystopian novel. It's the final test to see whether we will follow the most absurd party line towards our own extinction.
Yep.
But 2 + 2 = 4. And no matter how you choose to dress, call yourself, or change your physique, will not change that. The sad reality, though, is that in the gaslighting process to get us closer to a post-human future, they have mentally and physically harmed an increasing number of children and young people. And it's only getting worse.
Yep.
This must be stopped.
I agree with almost everything she says. I really did not hear anything that was incorrect, false, or, just far-reaching. Everything going on today is so crazy, and that's exactly what it is. You are going to be happy, and you are going to have nothing. Because why? because you're going to be easily manipulated and told into doing what is right for you instead of just doing what is right for you and having your freedom. Man, fucking wild, huh? I almost stopped it. But I was like, you know what? I want to hear everything she has to say. And I'm wondering, this is for me, would this message hit as well if that was just like some old white man? Like, I don't know. I think she can really sell it. You know what I'm saying? She's not bad. She's not bad. Not hard on the eyes. All right. This is crazy. I think that I'm just happy about these ones on my birthday. I'm super baked right now, and this shit's wild. So the world's first artificial womb facility, Ecolife, could incubate up to 30,000 babies a year. What? So Matrix. This is Matrix shit. I mean, this is crazy.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy. Ectolife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring.
What?
It's a perfect solution for women who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. With Ectolife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past.
Oh my God.
Ectolife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others.
What?
The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs.
Are you only going to grow them if they're
Every pod is designed
asked
to
for?
replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus.
Whoa. What the fuck?
A single building can incubate up to 30,000 lab-grown babies per year.
What?
Ectolife allows your baby to develop in an infection-free environment. The pods are made of materials that prevent germs from sticking to their surfaces. Every
What?
growth pod features sensors that can monitor your baby's vital signs, including heartbeat, temperature, blood pressure, breathing rate, and oxygen saturation. The artificial intelligence-based system also monitors the physical features of your baby and reports any potential genetic abnormalities.
And what if it has genetic
The pods are equipped with a screen that displays real-time data on the developmental progress of your baby. These data are sent directly to your phone so you can track your baby's health from the comfort of your zone.
What?
The app also
From your
provides you
zone,
with
it's not a home?
high-resolution live view of your baby's development. A special section in the app allows you to watch a time-lapse of your baby's growth and share it directly with your loved ones.
There's a video that's longer than that? Holy shit. What? That's insane. I mean, wow. Carrying a baby will be a thing of the past. Because who's going to want to do it if you could do that? So, does that mean eventually nobody will have a belly button? Or no, they had a belly button, right? There was a feeding tube. Holy shit. That's insane. They said you can monitor your baby's vitals and stuff and see them in their progress while they're in that thing from the comfort of your zone. So, are we already starting to not call it a home? It's the first time I've ever heard of it said like that. Is that changing too? Am I eventually going to say that I'm zone, not home? I'm telling you, I can't deal with this bullshit change of words. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And if that's a true thing, oh my God. No, not for me, man. That's so wild. That is so wild, man. Imagine that. Imagine not seeing women pregnant anymore. C-sections. Now, my other question is, is what do they do when they have the genetic abnormalities? What happens when you get that text message or push notification? What do you do then? Right? Because isn't CRISPR or CRISP, whatever the fuck it is, that is something that you're supposed to implement before the fetus. That way, when the fetus is being grown, then that layout of DNA from CRISPR is then produced, and when the baby is grown, it's whatever you programmed it as. So if you do this, you're just taking what? An egg and sperm and giving it to these guys, and then they're going to put it in a bubble, and then they're going to grow it for you. So it's going to grow as if it was in the mother. So this is more closer to like a natural birth, and there is an umbilical cord, so they are going to have belly buttons. Interesting. And so when you do it like this, what do you do when you get that message? Right? Or can some of those abnormalities come from being in the mother in general? And because, yeah, sure, you got dad's sperm and mom's egg, but maybe without being in a human body, even that gives them a better chance of having less abnormalities. Huh. I wonder. I don't know. This could be revolutionary. So this I thought would be neat because I can't get enough of these robots, but I also called it earlier when I thought that it was fake. So I don't know if this is 100% real. It says there's strength in numbers, Fourier GR-1 humanoid robots making strides. Now, I haven't debunked this. I haven't looked into whether or not, but I know there's a lot of videos out there with the robots and they're shooting guns and they're doing all this crazy shit, and those have been debunked. So since I don't know much about this, I'm putting it in that category for the moment, but I also haven't watched it. So if these dance moves are out of this world, I'm going to have to say it's probably fake. The other day, my wife was like, hey, did you hear this new Eminem Jelly Roll song? And I'm like, she sends me a clip of the picture, right? She sends me a snap of the picture. And I'm like, nope, never heard of this. So I looked up the artists, right? Both of them, Jelly Roll and Eminem. Looked for this track throughout their library. Was not existing. I'm like, well, that's weird. If it was a new track with Eminem and Jelly Roll on it, you goddamn right, it's going to be at the top of both of their pages on all their channels, right? That's not going to slip through the cracks. So that already tipped me off. And I was like, let me think about this. Then a couple days went by and we're fucking driving for Thanksgiving. And she's like, oh, did you hear that track? It's so good. And I was like, all right, well, let's put it on. So I'm like, I can't find it. You find it. So she looks it up. She looks up the track by putting in the name of the track on YouTube. That's already a red flag in my book. And I was like, all right, let me see here. So she pulls it up and I'm listening and I read the description. It is Church, which is written by Jelly Roll. That is a Jelly Roll track all day. Love that track. Then it says featuring Jelly Roll. And I go, wait a minute. How can I be listening to a Jelly Roll track that he wrote, says it's by Eminem, featuring Jelly Roll? I go, Jelly Roll can't be featured in his own track. That can't be true. That's already confusing. I'm so confused. I've seen so many red flags already. So what I do is I'm like, all right, you need to, where is this track? And she goes, it's in blah, blah, blah. And I go, cool, that little round circle underneath it, click it. Where does that bring you? What channel? She said the name of the channel. And I go, oh, that has nothing to do with them. This is fake. And she looked and she goes, oh yeah, look at that. It's this guy and he takes these and he puts them together. And I go, see, that all makes sense. That it makes sense why Jelly Roll is featured in his own track. It makes sense why Eminem's verse that he put in it was like super slow, and it was okay, but it was super fucking slow. I wanted a fast rap, and it was not. And then it explained it all, and I went, oh, okay. So this guy just mixes their shit and puts it out like this so that he gets the clicks, because if you're looking for Jelly Roll or Eminem, you're going to click on this because it's new. It's not new. It's fake. It's made up. So I'm putting this video in the same category, but I'm going to have to put my own music over it. I gotta say, the movement's really good, though.
So, here we go.
Wow. Okay, so that was real. That was really real. Those robots do have some good moves, and it's not what I thought it was. Again, a clickbaity tile gets you clicking. It really does, and I gotta get better at it. But, yeah, that's a lot of movement in those robots with the elbows, the fingers, the knees, the whole thing. So, as technology advances and time goes on, it's absolutely crazy how much they can do. And I mean, the more joints and movement that they give these things, the more realistic they're going to get. And I don't know, like, can you just look at like an old RoboCop or the original Terminator's body and just replicate that? You know, today? Like, I don't know. I just think that anything that you look at, you could just be like, oh, yeah, we could do this, this, and this. We just need to use this, this, and this because that's fake and it could never be done this way. But we could do it with this, you know what I mean? And like, because those, you know, I know it was movie and generated, but, you know, it had full movement, so they must have been close. Or I'm just talking out my ass, which I probably am. So my next one coming up, I'm going to play the video for you. I had to cut it out. I had to record this thing on my phone before it disappeared. I wanted to cut it and clean it up because it sounded like poop. So I cut it, I clean it up, and I'm going to cut it into the video and allow everybody to watch it, and then I'll come back and discuss it.
Gunderson, man, that guy. I'd hear him say this stuff 25, 30 years ago. I thought he was nuts, except I kept researching and finding it was true. A little short clip, resurfaced on Twitter, where he lays out every damn thing that was going to go down. Joe, former FBI agent, head of the Los Angeles sector, Ted Gunderson says the Bilderberg, this is in 1996, and New World Order Illuminati is behind all of the heinous crimes against humanity. Here's the clip.
Personally investigated the Oklahoma City bombing case. A huge cover-up. Jack Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. Bobby Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. World Trade Center, huge cover-up. Okay, terrorism. They're using it as an excuse to take away our constitutional rights and our civil liberties. The Illuminati, Bilderberg, New World Order, globalists are the element behind us. It dovetails into the satanic movement, and this movement has infiltrated into our intelligence community, the once great FBI and the CIA.
Then, 3 years ago, they released the Finder's case emails. The FBI released thousands of pages. And everything he told me about that was true.
That is absolutely insane, and possibly, I believe that everything is a cover-up. I really do. Like, they try to cover everything, and I think that they're using everything that they're doing today is a cover-up for their mistakes and their failures and for their lack of wanting to admit. You don't want to admit when you're wrong. You don't want to admit when you've done us wrong. And you never want to take fault or be sorry about it. And it's absolutely infuriating. It wouldn't surprise me that all those things got covered up. It doesn't surprise me at all. You know, I think it's a good message because think about it. Question it. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. Certain things just don't add up. And we got to question it. I love Alex Jones. I think he's great. I still listen to him today. Anywhere I can find him. The guy was wrong about one thing. And I know it was bad, and I understand. But I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know, I did it with Brian Callen. I did it with Chris D'Elia. You know, there's so many of them that were just wrongly accused or didn't do anything that was really what everybody said or what everybody wrote happened. It was their view on it. It was their opinion of it. And when they finally proved themselves, you know, innocent or whatever, you know, they never got a sorry. Never got anything. And I just think that's wrong. Just like I think this is wrong. Of course Kennedy was taken out. He wanted to change so much, and they couldn't allow that to happen. I can't get into the details because I have no fucking idea. I can't remember right now. I'm high. You know? Oswald, all of it. It's all bullshit. They just wanted to scapegoat somebody. The more we dig in, the more we find out. You know? Tower 7, Pentagon. It's all covered up. Money gone missing. Can't find the documents anymore. Whoop, that money's gone. Look. They do it to us all the time. They locked us up. They told us to stay home. For some months. But for the people that went back out in months, you know, they fucked up a lot of people for like a year. Sometimes, some of the people, 2 years. Some people are still wearing masks today. That's their fault. So, none of this surprises me, and I was super happy to finally watch this video. You know, I like I said, I have a lot of this shit, and I just store it on my phone, and then I'm like, I forget about it. You know, you ever go to flip through your photos, and like you find shit that you forgot about, or you ever try to show somebody something, and then you can't find it? Oh, the phone has become the new magazine. It's so annoying. But I just wanted to have some fun on my birthday. So I'm just, again, I want to say thank you to everybody out there. I really appreciate all your support, and I thank and welcome the new subscribers. Make sure you take that link tree, share it. I really appreciate you all helping me make this podcast bigger. And then, of course, if you're new to the podcast, remember to hit that subscribe button, all right? It's free for you, so do it. Hit that subscribe button. And then, of course, if you want to tell your story, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. It's the official email of the podcast. And, of course, Linktree link. All right, you need to be clicking that. Go to the social, follow, and, of course, share. Share the Linktree with everyone you know. It's the easiest way to help me get this thing out there, make it bigger. And, again, I hope everybody out there has an amazing Thursday. I hope you have an enjoyable weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.